Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening wherever you are in the world. And it is 2:55 in the morning, in the middle of the night. I don't really know how to say that. To me, it's the middle of the night. It's another one of those things that I find interesting. It reminds me, now that I think about it, I'll just share it with you right quick. In Asia, they have a really difficult time noting the difference between AM and PM. And I think every American knows that as soon as it becomes midnight, it's AM, right? 12 o'clock midnight is AM. And 12 o'clock PM is noon. It's pretty common knowledge. But a lot of times when you're talking to somebody, if you say something about, I have to go to work at 6 o'clock, you assume they understand what you mean, but they're not sure if you mean AM or PM. They have to clarify, but it seems obvious. I mean, most people aren't going to work at 6 p.m. But if you ask them in the middle of the night when it becomes 12 o'clock, is that 12 a.m. or 12 p.m., they will always say 12 p.m. because they associate p.m. with nighttime. So if you say you're asleep, you go to sleep at 9 p.m., and you wake up at 3 o'clock and it's still dark outside, what time is it? They will always say 3 p.m. It's very interesting. Now that that's out of the way, interesting fact about Asia out of the way. What in the world is going on here? It looks like my game highlight window is... It's not acting quite right for some reason. Okay, now it's working correctly. It was stuck. I don't know why. It was frozen. But I just got it fixed. So life is good now. There we go. Framber Valdez getting ready to don his orange shroud. Oh, I just noticed I got the wrong... Hang on just a second. I still have yesterday's game on the board. The scoreboard. Give me one moment. I can fix that. No big deal. It's not a big deal. I just need to change the... Whoops. Wrong button again. I keep clicking the wrong thing. Third time's the charm. I got it. I gotta change the API date. It's the 9th. There we go. Where's the file? Where's the file? Give me a moment. Bear with me, guys and gals. I apologize. I just noticed. Still got yesterday's information on the screen. As nice as it is, as nice as yesterday's info is, I need to get today's updated. There we go. There we go. Now that should be all right. Let's refresh, and we should be good to go. One moment. Refreshing now. There we go. See? I told you it wasn't a big deal. Thank you, old dog. I appreciate that. You would not believe how difficult it was to get that picture made. I have no idea why. Just like with Hunter Brown. Hunter Brown's image and Framber Valdez. Maybe it's because the AI recognizes that these are the best pictures the Astros have. So when I'm trying to make the images, it just keeps screwing them up. So I have to keep adding more and more detail to get it right. But it kept putting the glove on the wrong hand. It kept, doing weird things like putting his glove on his hand backwards and just a bunch of weird stuff like that. It did the same thing to Hunter Brown. But everybody else was fine. All the other pitchers, no problem. Yeah, let's see here. We can turn the playlist down there. And do I have something else I can put on the playlist? I would like to add to the playlist, but I'm not sure that I can. It's okay, I'll take a look at it later. I don't need it right now. I really want to look at the Astros lineup. It is 3 a.m. The game first pitch due in about 5 minutes. So let's take a look at the Astros lineup just real quick. Jeremy Pena is in the game, leading it off at shortstop, followed by Jesus Sanchez in right field, actually. He's in right field today, not in left. Altuve is DH again today, guys, batting third. Carlos Correa at third base, batting cleanup. Christian Walker at first base, batting fifth. Yainer Diaz catching and batting sixth. I'm kind of surprised to see him there. I was expecting to see Caratini in the lineup today, but Yainer's in there again. The Tram, Taylor Trammell, is batting seventh in left field. That's interesting. Ramon Urias at second base today, batting eighth. And Chas McCormick in center field wrapping it up, getting a start, batting ninth. How about that? Pretty interesting. I still think that we shouldn't put Diaz and Walker back to back. Maybe put Diaz in the fifth spot and put Urias. That's what I would do. I'd put Urias after that and then Diaz. And that's what I would do if I were going to use this lineup. I like what the commentators said here. It's true. They said yesterday the fans, the Yankees fans, barely got the booze out of their mouth before Altuve hit a homer. Two two-run homers yesterday doing all the damage. First it was Superman, and then it was the Tram. What a great game yesterday. It was a fun game. It was really a fun game. It really was. Absolutely. Let's get this going at Minute Maid North or Dyking North, right? Hey, VentureCast, welcome in. Good to see you again. Jordan, welcome in. Abel's in Corpus Christi. And the right restrictions hinder me from watching the game live, but thanks to your channel, I'm able to listen in from an Astro. Yeah. Thank you so much. I don't know why. That's just not fair. If you're in Corpus Christi, why would they limit your ability to watch the game? I really don't understand that. I really don't. I don't get it. And it's kind of like one of the reasons why I decided to start this channel is because I thought, man, the Astros are a two-time World Series champ. They're a dynasty. They've got great players. They've got Hall of Fame players on the team. They deserve better than this. They deserve to have at least one person doing the live play-by-play. And there was nobody. There's a lady doing the Spanish, but she's not even doing it independently. She's part of a channel that does all sorts of live play-by-plays in Spanish. So they're not an Astros channel. They just happen to do Astros games with her. She does Astros games for that channel. However, there is no Astros only live play-by-play channel except for this one. This is literally the only one. All of the other Astros channels are commentary and podcasts and things like that. There's not a single Astros only live play-by-play channel besides this one. That's the fact. I hope that we can continue to grow together and get better and better. VentureCast is heading out to Thailand. 1 a.m. local time flight. Finishing up packing. Have a really good trip. That's a long flight. That is a long flight. Are you flying straight from Houston? Or are you going to make a transfer? When I was in Shreveport, I would either fly from Dallas to Los Angeles and then over to Tokyo or Hong Kong, or I would fly to Seattle and then over to Hong Kong or Tokyo. And absolutely, Abel, let's go Stros. Crispy says, I'm a little worried about today's game. We face yet another Cy Young pitcher. None of our guys have a career hit against him besides zero. Crispy, do you realize that this guy just came back from injury? And he got blown up his last game. He went three and a third and gave up 5 runs. So we're dealing with a guy who's just back from his rehab assignment. I don't know if you knew that or not. I did a little research into him. Last year he had a pretty good year. It was his best year ever, I think. But he hasn't pitched a single game until his last game, and he got lit up. So we have an opportunity to post a half dozen or more runs on the board. We'll see. Yeah, I don't understand why they hate Altuve so much. It's not because he's done anything wrong. It's just because they can't stand the idea of somebody that doesn't look like Judge owns them completely, and nobody on their team owns the Astros. And this is why the Yankees are not a rival to the Astros. The Yankees are like the little kid following the young adult around, constantly talking about how they're rivals, but the young adult just laughs and says, I don't know what you're talking about, because we're far from rivals. You're an annoyance, perhaps, but not a rival. That's how the Astros look at the Stankies. Yeah, Crispy, this is only his second game. Second game back from a rehab assignment. Brendan's watching some preseason football. VentureCast says it's 15 and a half hours to Taiwan, and then another almost 4 hours from there to Bangkok. Okay, so you're going to Taiwan first. Okay, I gotcha. I gotcha. If I want to go from here to my hometown, I guess, well, the place I was born, the total trip is generally about 28 total hours. 28 total hours to get there. It's not quick because it's not at an international airport. And I'm in Hiroshima, so Hiroshima does not fly directly to America. I have to go to Tokyo first, or Hong Kong, and then that's the first transfer, and then from there I have to go to, I could fly directly to Houston, but typically there's not a flight directly to Dallas. It's either Los Angeles or Seattle, and then from there transfer to Dallas or fly to Shreveport. So typically that total flight time can take as much as 28 hours. It's ridiculous. I made that trip one time to surprise my daughter for her birthday, and after I got there I said, where can I take you for dinner? And she literally said, well, I've already got plans with my friends. I said, excuse me? And she said, yeah, it would be rude of me to cancel dinner with my friends. And I said, but I just traveled 28 hours. I was in China at the time. And she goes, yeah, but you should have told me you were coming. Just to give you an idea of the way my daughter was treating me. No judgment. It's just the way she chose to be, like her mother. This is why we don't talk. I love her, but I can't have her in my life acting like that. People got to love me. If they want to be in my life, they got to love me because I love them, you know. First pitch up and outside to Jeremy Pena, ball 1. Louis Gill on the mound. His second game back from injury from his rehab assignment. Here comes the next pitch to the Flash. Just a little outside. That was tight. Call the ball. Couldn't have been more than a centimeter from the zone. The Flash. If you remember, you can put the Flash up in the chat, in the Chizat. 2 balls and no strikes to Jeremy Pena. Here comes the next toss. 96 right in there on the inside edge. Men of culture, here we meet again. Yes, it is really early for me in Japan, brother. You are right. This is hit really hard. It might be gone. Yes, it is. Pena starts off the game with a jack to left field. 1-0 Astros. Boom, baby, boom. Jeremy Pena says, you know what? I'm not going to let them wait for Altuve. I want to do this myself. Jeremy Pena. Holy freaking cow. 404 feet to left field. He crushed it, and I believe that was a fastball. He was all over that. Jesus Sanchez's turn at the plate. 98, just at the top of the zone. He hits this out into left field. Is it playable? Yes, it is. He flies out into deep left field, opposite field. But let's take a look again at Jeremy Pena's. Whoa, 97 at the top of the zone. He took him for a ride. Where did it get in the upper deck? No, almost. 1-0, and the crowd boos. The hero of New York. It's the king of Queens. The king of New York is at the plate, Jose Altuve. Whoa. Look at that. He almost hits him in the face with a pitch up and in, and the crowd cheers. That's New York for you. 1 ball and no strikes for Altuve. Come on, Superman. Shut him up again today. Why don't you copy Pena? Here's the toss. Outside, ball 2. Good take. That's absolutely the way to start this game. Set the tone early. Set the tone early. 2 games in a row, the Astros have homered in the first inning against the Stanks. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. 88 at the top of the zone. That was a nice slider. Altuve took it for strike 1. It's 2-1. What I want to see now is an Altuve snap. You know what I'm saying? 2-1. Here comes the toss from Geaux. Altuve fouls it off. Bounces it down the third base side. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yes, that's right. The Yankees are going to probably, maybe the coach, you'll tell the umpire, could you take his shirt off, look inside, make sure there's not a buzzer in there or something? Next pitch is hit hard to left field. That's going to be down for a hit. Altuve with the single line drive. 2 hits for the Astros. They're putting the bat on the ball. Deep fly ball by Sanchez. Line drive by Altuve. Home run by Pena. Looking good so far. 2 hits and 1 run on the board already. Luis Gil up to 10 pitches. And now he's going to have to face Carlos Correa with a runner on. Let's go, Correa. South Korea. Way high. Ball 1. Some crazy weather out here today. It's since last night. You guys have absolutely no idea the amount of work I did yesterday. I only slept for 1 hour. I got to sleep at 1. I got up at 2. Made some sausage. Cooked some sausage, rather. That's right in there. 91 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike. That's indeed how we roll, Daryl. Travis says had to fly from Houston to Shreveport once for work. Straight up Buddy Holly type situation. Plane was so small I had to walk outside and get on the plane. Was it one of those prop planes, Travis? That's in there for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Correa. I've been on a couple of prop planes before. Those things are very interesting. And these are big commercial planes with propellers. Here's the pitch. 97 on that upper outside edge. Blasted by Correa, but foul. Way off into the stands on the first base side. Absolutely. 2 days in a row, Altuve with a hit. His first at bat. Runner on first base. Altuve. Pitch to Correa is low and in the dirt. Outside. Altuve stealing. Is he in there? They say he's out. That's going to be out number 2. It looks like they're not going to challenge it. But that was close. Oh, man. What was... Oh, I see. He got a little indecision there. A little indecision. Bad base running there by Altuve. 2 outs. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Correa. Here comes the pitch. He hits this one to right field all the way out close to the track and caught for out number 3. The Astros come away with 1 because of Pena's homer. Mistake on the running there by Altuve. 97 miles an hour in the top of the zone. Pena can just hit everything. How many times have we seen him go down low and knock it out, get a good hit? Right there, he goes high. Still gets the full extension. What a great player. Pena's freaking awesome. I think that Pena's actually going to get even better. Maybe next year he can get MVP. He keeps improving. I really have a feeling he's going to be a superstar. He's already a star. But next year, maybe MVP year for Jeremy Pena. Let's see here. Wow, Travis, that's crazy. You're so close. The plane is so small you can touch the cockpit. That's insane. Yeah, Abel, you're right. At least we got a run. We got the run. Happy Saturday to you. Happy Sunday even. It's 3:16 a.m. here on Sunday. Right in the wee hours of the morning, I guess. The sun is supposed to start coming up a little after 4 o'clock here. But with all this rain, the heavy thunderstorms and stuff. Actually, I wonder what the radar looks like. I want to see what the radar looks like here in my area. Whoa. Holy cow, look at the weather in Japan right now. That's crazy. This is where I'm at, right in here. There I am. Yeah, right there. Look at this crazy weather. That's insane. All right. Paul Goldschmidt is at the plate. Fromber is on the mound. First pitch is on the way to Mr. Goldschmidt. A little inside and low for ball 1. The 1-0 is the count. Good day to you, Ron. Here's the next pitch. That one's on the lower inside corner for strike 1. Good pitch. Good placement. Good call by the ump. 83 people following along already. Welcome in. Thanks for being here. We just got started a moment ago. If you came in a little late, Jeremy Pena hit a solo shot over 400 feet. This is a grounder up the middle. So Fromber gets the grounder, but nobody is there. Gets through for a hit. 1 runner on. The leadoff runner. And Aaron Judge comes to the plate in just a moment. Aaron Judge, if he's doing well, I don't know how well he's he did get a hit yesterday, but otherwise pretty quiet. He's really the best guy in the lineup that they have against Fromber. First pitch is low, ball 1. If Fromber can master Judge, then he can master anybody in this lineup. 1-0 is the count with a runner on first. No outs. Here's the toss. A little low and outside. Ball 2. No Ks. We're hitting him. Yeah, Fred. It was just bad base running on Altuve's part. Here's the pitch. Wow. Way too far inside. The sinker almost getting away from Diaz there. 3 balls and no strikes to Judge. Here comes the 3-0. It's called ball 4. It was very close. Just below the zone. It could have been called a strike, but it was pretty low. Umpire laid off. 4-pitch walk to Aaron Judge. And now we have what you would call an old-timey jam. Runners on first and second in the first with nobody out. Gregory Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for that super chat. I really do appreciate that. Here's the pitch. 96, low and outside. Another ball thrown by Fromber. 1-0 is the count to Cody Bellinger. Where's the triple play ball? That's what I want to see, the triple play ball. Here's the pitch. That's a strike. Barely. 95 on the outside edge. 1-1 is the count. Man, my members my members are almost carrying the channel. It seems like you guys are the only ones that are giving the super chats. Here comes a 1-1 pitch to Bellinger. Ground ball, and that's going to be through. No double play there. Runner is held at third base, and we have bases loaded with no outs. A single, a walk, and a single. We have got a super jam going on. We got a super jam going on right there. With Giancarlo Stanton at the plate. And they're having a little meeting on the mound. The umpire's like, hey, you know, let's break it up. You can talk about your trading cards later. I appreciate that. Thank you for saying so, Gregory. Yeah, that was an infield mound visit. Josh Miller didn't come out. It's just a Diaz/infield meeting. Runners on first, second, and third. If Fromber gets out of this, he is going to be a wizard. Come on, cast your spell. Here's the pitch. First pitch is low, ball one. Curveball low. No problemo. 97 people following along. If you haven't liked the live stream, please do so. That one's in the dirt. Another low pitch. The sinker this time. It sunk a little bit too much. 2 balls and no strikes. Fromber looking like he's having some control issues right now. Let's drop it in there. Here's the next pitch. Low again. He tries another sinker. That one with a little more beef on it. 94 miles an hour. Several inches below the zone. 3-0. Come on now, Fromber. Here's the pitch. Right in there. 93 miles an hour. The sinker on the inside edge. 3-1 is the count. Here comes the next toss. 3-1. Ball 4. They're just going to walk in a run. Low and inside. The sinker misses again. 4 pitches below the zone. Fromber loads up the bases with 2 hits and a walk. Walks in another. Josh Miller is now going to come out to the mound and have a little talk with Valdez. See what's going on. This game is tied. That's anticlimactic. Here we go again with the Astros just giving the runs right back, right? I'll take this moment to express some appreciation for my super chat donators from yesterday. Thank you so very much. I think it might have been either all members who donated or mostly all members. 84 people following along and only 39 likes. It's not even quite half. If you haven't liked the live stream, I would appreciate you doing so right now. It would help get the channel and the live stream to more eyes. "15 pitches now for Valdez. Bases loaded. First pitch is in the dirt outside. Ben Rice at the plate, a lefty. Ben Rice batting .232 for the season. 1-0 is the count. Yeah. Do you guys remember the Sylvester Stallone movie called Over the Top, where he's like an arm wrestler and he turns his hat around before he arm wrestles? He says it's like a switch. That's in there. 95 miles an hour. 1 ball, 1 strike. What you just said, Daryl, we need to turn on the switch. It kind of reminds me of that. You know, it's like a switch. That's what he said in the movie. Maybe Valdez needs to turn his hat around. Here's a pitch. In the dirt again. 2 balls and 1 strike. Fromber has thrown a massive amount of balls. 18 pitches and only 6 strikes. 2-1 pitch on the way. This is hit hard to center field. It's going to be playable, and he's going to definitely tag and score another run. The Astros will give up the lead here. 2 runners tag. We have runners on the corners. I'm sorry, we have runners on... yeah, that's right, runners on the corners. Runner at first doesn't move. 2-1 stanks. Well, the good thing is that... I mean, think about this. I know it doesn't look good, but here's the thing. The Stankies have a pitcher on the mound who's recovering from surgery and coming back from his rehab. I think we can light him up, so I'm not too worried. Here's the pitch. Right in there. 93 miles an hour, strike 1. Finally, a first pitch strike to Anthony Volpe. 1 out, runners on the corners, 2-1 Yankees. Here's the pitch. Volpe grounds it to third. It'd be a double play. Yes, it is. How about that? Double play ends the inning. Astros get out of it. 2-1. Just down by 1. Not a big deal. Henry, goodbye. You're gone. Speaking of garbage, I don't allow garbage like what you have on my channel. So, see ya. Fromber gets out of it with a Fromber special. The Framburglar. He got Framburgled with the double play. 2 hits for the Astros, 2 hits for the Stankies. It's 2-1. That could have been a lot worse. A lot worse than what it was. Christian Walker is due up, followed by Yainer Diaz and Taylor Trammell. Yeah, Gregory. Christian Walker is just the one to do it, too. How about back-to-back-to-back? I want to see Walker, Diaz, Trammell. Back-to-back-to-back. Boom, boom, boom. Astros up 4-2. Make it happen, Stros. Make it happen. You better make it happen or I'm gonna keep rapping. Hey, Julia, what's going on? I know you a little bit, but you don't know me at all. I'm sure that she's over there during the breaks looking at her phone and watching Ghostros or watching me on her iPad or her tablet. Hopefully she's a tablet person and not an iPad person. First pitch to Walker on the way. Is it going to be a homer? No, a strike. It's 96 miles an hour right on the outside edge. That's right. Because Yankees fans are terrible. He subscribed and waited 10 minutes just so he could say that, because it takes 10 minutes to leave a message in the live chat. Here's the pitch. Look at that. 88 right in there. Christian Walker decides, you know what? I don't want to swing at a strike. 0-2 is the count. Trammell is in the hole. He's just waiting for his opportunity. Walker, are you baiting the pitcher? But you got to actually swing the bat. You better hit it. If you swing it, you better at least foul it off. The 0-2 pitch from Gill on the way. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? 98 miles an hour, a good 4 inches above the zone, and Walker strikes out. He finally decides to swing, and it's way out of the zone. Christian Walker, I swear, man. You gotta get better, buddy. Yainer Diaz at the plate. Will Yainer give him a shiner? He takes a strike right in the middle of the plate. 97 miles an hour. Every strike that has come into the Astros this inning so far has been taken. They haven't swung at anything in the zone yet. Here comes the next pitch, the 0-1 to Diaz. Low and outside, ball 1. Finally, somebody takes a ball. Here comes a 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 88 miles an hour on the outside edge. An 88 mile per hour slider. How are you guys not hitting that? Not even fouling it off. Top of the batting order was putting the bat on the ball. We got the rally killers at the plate right now. 89 miles an hour fouled off. 1 ball and 2 strikes. He just kind of went after that one outside the zone. Yeah, that's right. That's why they got the pinstripe jerseys. Daryl. Here's the pitch to... Oh, Diaz, what are you doing? Diaz chases a pitch more than a foot outside the zone. Walker and Diaz back-to-back strikeouts on terrible pitches. This is why you don't put them back-to-back in the lineup. Either kills a rally or gives you 2 outs a lot of the time. Too much of the time. 2 outs. The Tram is at the plate, and once again, he takes the first pitch right down the middle for a strike, 97 miles an hour. Maybe he wants to be a Yankee. It's possible. Yeah, old dog, Walker comes through occasionally, but it's just not worth the price that they pay for him. Trammell grounds it to first. And they toss it to the pitcher, who barely covers in time. Trammell booked it down to first, but he just couldn't beat it. But at least he hit the ball. Good job, Tram. You hit the ball. Good for you. You didn't strike out. You did better than both Diaz and Walker. You earned that out. Top of the second is done. 2 hits for both teams, no errors. 1 run for the Astros and 2 for the Stanks. 21 pitches for Valdez, and only 9 of those are strikes. But I will say this, he started throwing more strikes towards the end of the first, so he was getting better as the game went along, so that's good. Gregory says maybe the Yankees are paying him to have terrible games against those Stankies. Wouldn't that be funny? That's like reverse cheating, isn't it? If a team is if a team is paying your player to deliberately strike out and do poorly, it's cheating, but it's like reverse cheating. And then they interview Christian Walker later about it. Why did you cheat? Why did you allow the Yankees to pay you to cheat? And he says, well, you know, I know that I'm not going to get into the Hall of Fame. I don't have any chance of that, so I figured might as well make that money, yo. And came over to Walker, and it was a bad throw, and he had to kind of scoop it up and quickly put his foot on the base. They barely got the runner. If you go back and you look at that, you'll notice that the Yankees player, I can't remember his name, he was just jogging down the line. If he had been running like Trammell, he would have been safe. But he assumed he would be out. That's those lazy Yanks. First pitch in the top of the zone. Was that a strike? Should have been. No, it was called a ball. First pitch is a strike at the top of the zone and call the ball. Thank you, ump. 1-0 is the count against Trent Grisham. Here's the next pitch. That's in there. Oh, look at that catch. Ramon Urias speared a line drive with a snow cone catch. How about that? What a beautiful play. Man, that was ripped too. He barely got that. Look at this. Boom, baby. Man, he caught it and brought it down like he was catching a baby falling out of a window. First pitch to the next batter is a big curveball. Misses high for ball one. Jose Caballero at the plate with 1 out. Stream is lagging again. It might be the weather. Getting a lot of rain recently. Just sporadic weather. You guys miss Yuli? Here's the 2-0 count. This is hit high in the air. Is it playable? Nope. It goes out of play on the first base side. Thank you for letting me know about the lagging, Brendan. But you guys let me know if it stops or gets too bad. If I need, I can try to switch to my backup. Here's the next pitch. Swing and a miss. 90 at the bottom of the zone. Good toss. The change up, making him miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out. Here comes the pitch. Outside, the curveball misses by a substantial margin. Yeah, he caught it like a human fly trap. Full count against Caballero. Nobody on with first. Nobody with 1 out, rather. Here's a pitch. This is grounded right down the line all the way to the wall. That's going to be out in the corner. He's going to be booking it around. He might get a triple out of this. Caballero, he actually stops. He puts on the brakes. He was too scared to go to third. Trammell couldn't easily get that ball. It was just a lazy roller right down the line. I have a feeling that Correa was a little too far off the line there. Or is that just me? Runner on second with 1 out. I'll tell you what, though. I have some fond memories of Yuli, but I definitely don't miss him. I would rather have somebody else there that was better. Ground out to second base. Caballero runs over to third base. 2 away. I think that Yuli is a mid player. I mean, he had moments. He was pretty clutch sometimes. But right now, the way he is right now, there's no way I'd want him back now. In his prime, oh yeah, I'd take him. Here's the first pitch to Goldschmidt. A little below the zone, ball 1. Oh, yeah, Gregor, you saw Walker jump on that line drive? Yeah. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Goldschmidt. That's a strike on the outside edge. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner on third. 2 outs. Come on, Valdez. You can do it, baby. Yeah, Thaddeus, we definitely need Correa to hit. An Astros energy drink. Here's the pitch. Fouled off at the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Do they have Astros energy drinks? Is that a thing? Are they with sugar or no sugar? Or both? One ball, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Here comes the toss from Fromber. Ooh, too far inside. Almost got him on the foot. I don't know how Diaz stopped that pitch from going by. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That's pretty cool, Daryl. What's up, John? Thanks for coming in. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Goldschmidt. Here's the pitch. This is hit up the middle. Another good catch by Urias. How about that? Yeah, that's right. I had to second guess myself there. I was like, wait a second, who's on second again? Yeah, it's Urias. That's 2 great catches at second base. 2 great line drive catches by Urias. That's the third out. Look at that. Boom, baby. Man, give that man a bonus for catching those 2 line drives. He just saved a run. No kidding. Absolutely, what a catch. Well, I definitely don't. Yeah, Crispy says that if you think the Astros fans are toxic, just look at the Yankees fans. After the game last night, they're all booing their players, calling to fire the manager and sell the team. It was outrage. Yeah, Crispy, I actually watched some of their videos. Some of the, just out of curiosity, I watched some of the YouTubers, the Yankee YouTubers and responders, and they don't pull any punches. And they call their coach stupid. They have you guys seen the deep fake AI videos that they made? They make of the players and the coaches. They make it look like the coach is saying, "Yeah, I did everything I could out there to get fired. You know, I'm a big loser, and you know that little midget got after us. He just bent us over, and blah 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 blah." It's really, really rough stuff. They really tear apart their team, their manager and their team. The pitcher, they tore apart the pitcher. They tore apart the manager. Everybody was doing it. It's so ridiculous. But I will say this. I don't think that Astros fans are toxic at all. If we're talking about as a whole. As a whole, I think that the Astros culture is good, is very good. But I do believe that there are too many negative people. That first pitch is high to Urias. Ramon Urias is at the plate. How awesome would it be for him to have a great game at the plate, since he's having a great defensive game. 86 at the top of the zone, strike 1, the count is even. Yeah, didn't he announce retirement, Yuli? I was thinking that he did. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Outside, ball 2. Here comes the next pitch. Right in the bottom of the zone for strike 2. 2-2 is the count. Yeah, one of those old rookies, John. 31 years old. Got started a little late. But still had a decent career. Way high. The elevator goes to the top floor and there's nobody there. 3 balls and 2 strikes. What is the deal with these guys having just tattoos all over their arms, all over their necks? He's got a tattoo. He's got words written. I can't remember what it is. He's got words written right on his throat, right on his Adam's apple. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Urias. He fouls it off. We'll have another full count pitch. Yeah, Urias is not looking too bad at second, John. Past Gold Glove winner. That means he's got some ability. He's got a little bit of ability. Here comes the 3-2. 86 above the zone, and he swings and misses. He goes down. Could have let that go by for ball 4. Another strikeout. I don't know why the Astros are striking out on this guy now. Top of the batting order was putting the bat on very hard. But for some reason, the bottom of the batting order, the middle and the bottom of the batting order is having a hard time. Maybe the Tasmanian Devil will have more success. Guess not. 91 miles an hour, swing and a miss right down the middle. At least he didn't let it go by. Yankee Stadium, the easiest to hit home runs? It's one of the easiest. Is it the easiest? I'm not sure. Here comes 0-1 pitch. McCormick takes that one low and outside. 1-1 is the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. 97, right in there. Strike 2. 1 and 2 is the count. Yeah, I know Rockies Stadium is one of the easiest places to hit it out. Dodger Stadium is number 1. Another strikeout. Chaz goes down. Man. So Jeremy Pena comes up there and clobbers it. Altuve comes up there, line drives it, and gets on base. Sanchez comes up there and hits it deep into left field to fly out. And then after that, they just kind of shut down. The rest of the batters don't know what they're doing. Pena's back at the plate. He hits this one deep to right field, but foul. Best parks for homers: Dodger Stadium, Great American Ballpark, and then Yankee Stadium is third. So there you go. That's a strike in there. 0 and 2 is the count on Pena. Here comes the 0 and 2 pitch. Little high and outside, ball 1, 1 and 2. Two outs, nobody on here in the top of the third. Luis Gil on the mound facing Pena. Come on, Pena, you can do it. You did it before, you can do it again. Whoa, way up high. A little inside there, too. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Brendan says we might need Cam instead of Chaz. I don't know. Not the way Chaz is playing. I mean, Cam is playing right now. Low and outside. Full count. At least they're making him pitch. He's up to 42 pitches. If we can get him to toss at least a few more, he'll be at 15 per inning. Here it comes, the full count pitch. Oh, no, Pena strikes out. 88 miles an hour, low and outside. That was a perfectly placed pitch, rather. All right. Man. Luis Gil suddenly locking it in right there. I don't know what in the world is going on with this lineup. What are the Astros doing? They're playing around. Suddenly so many strikeouts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strikeouts by the Astros. Goodness gracious. Christian Walker, Yainer Diaz, Urias, McCormick, and now Pena. I was even expecting Caratini to be in the game today. I thought for sure that he'd be catching and Diaz would either be DH or he'd be in reserve because he's played several games in a row. But no. I mean, I thought, why not have another left-handed bat in there? Why not? Gil's ERA was up to over 13, but since he's been in this game, he's dropped it down to 9. Yeah, Crispy, that's one plan. Why not? This guy's almost at 15 per inning. That's not too bad, but for somebody coming off of rehab, maybe it's a little much. I'm going to take a guess and say that no matter what happens in this next inning, they just might be getting somebody warmed up in the bullpen just in case. We'll see. Fromber is up on the mound in just a moment. He's going to be facing who? It's not updated on my screen. I'm going to refresh this. I have a feeling that it's not giving me the updated info, so bear with me just a moment as I refresh my screen. Holy cow. 5 gift memberships. That is awesome. That is awesome. Thank you so much. That is very, very kind, guys. You should say thank you very much to VentureCast for that. Framber Valdez with the second ball after I refreshed my screen. Aaron Judge at the plate. Here's the pitch. This is grounded up the middle. Judge has a hit. He's on first base. So Framber gets the ground ball, but once again, it goes in the spot where there is no runner, or no runner. No fielder. Yeah, thanks so much, VentureCast. That is really generous. Thank you so much for doing that. That is awesome. Here comes the pitch. Ground ball. It could be a double play. Arias goes to second. Pena to first. Not in time. Judge is out at second base. Bellinger is safe at first. That was a good catch. Another good defensive play by Urias. Look at that bad hop. He was able to get it over to Pena, no problem. They just could not get the ball over to first base in time for the double play. 1 away, runner on first. Yes, everyone who got those memberships, you should definitely thank VentureCast for that. That is very kind. Very considerate. Giancarlo Stanton is at the plate. First pitch is in there for a strike. Here's the second pitch. In the dirt, the ball bounces away. Bellinger will easily move to second base. Wild pitch by Framber. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Runner on second. Here in the bottom of the third. Venture, you are supporting the channel. You've been supporting the channel. You are greatly appreciated. More than I can express. I really appreciate it. Seriously. As much as I know how to express. 90, low and inside. Ball 2, 2-1. Giancarlo Stanton at the plate, facing Framber. Yeah, we got less than 100 to go. 4 more. Oh, here's the pitch. Loo inside, 3-1. Framber misses with the sinker. If we get 4 more super chats, then I will tell you guys and gals today what I have for the upcoming 1,000 sub surprise. Fouled off the 96 mile per hour sinker. Full count. Thank you, Daryl. I wouldn't be here if I didn't have anybody viewing. If I didn't have a growing community of fellow Astros fans, then I wouldn't be here. I'd just be watching a Spanish lady do the live play-by-play and trying to figure out what she's saying. Off the plate, they say, did he swing? They say he did not. 3 walks by Framber today. Ben Rice comes to the plate. Stanton goes to first. Bellinger is on second. 1 out. Once again, Framber getting into a little bit of a jam. Well, let's try to get that win for you, Gregory. Here's the pitch. This is hit high in the air into shallow right field. Should be playable. Sanchez has got it. Nope. Chas McCormick waves him off and he brings it in. The Chasmanian Devil puts it away for out number 2. The runners do not advance. They do not pass go. They do not collect so much as $1. Yep, a Mariners loss, a Rangers loss, and a win. Here's the pitch. A little outside. 1 ball, no strikes to Anthony Volpe. Runners on first and second. Let's shut this down right now and start getting some hits of our own. Here is the 1-0 pitch. Fromber special, 94 in the bottom of the zone, swing and a miss. He got Frombergled. Jake Money Myers, Jake the Rake, Jake the Snake. Jake the Snake Roberts. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here comes the toss. Volpe fouls that one off. 91 in the bottom of the zone, strike 2. Fromber's ahead, 1-2. Yeah, old dog. Isn't it interesting that Hunter Brown, like right before the All-Star break, started having some issues? After the All-Star break, Fromber started having some issues. You know, not as bad as what Hunter Brown went through, thankfully. Here comes the pitch. Curveball into left field, right to Trammell. Fly ball out number 3, no problem. 1 single, 1 walk, 2 stranded runners. No runs. That's the important number right there. Fromber up to how many pitches? Let's see. 50. 50 pitches for Fromber. He's got more pitches than Gill does. About 17 per inning he's averaging. That's way too much for Fromber. He's going to have to cut that back if he wants to get through 6 innings. He can't be pitching like this through 6. Goodness gracious me. Yeah, he is throwing too many balls, Screaming Eagle. You're right. Yeah, Gregory, haven't they done that twice recently? Right at the end of the game, they were losing, and they come back and win. It's like, really? Seriously? I mean, can we have at least one of those? Just one of those? A split? Why do they get both of them, you know? Let's go ahead and end this poll. How many votes do we have? 53 votes. So 43% we're going to light him up. We still can. We got another chance here in the 4th inning. We got a chance. Only 20% thinks that we're going to be too cold today. So that's positive. 80% thinks we're going to at least get it done. Get her did. Yeah, we need to extend that. We need to be 6 games ahead of the Mariners to make me feel a little more comfortable. Jesus Sanchez at the plate. A little inside, ball 1. That was close. Could have been called either way. Jose Altuve on deck. Carlos Correa in the hole. Come on, Sanchez. Blast it. Here's the pitch. Ooh, 87 right in there. Nice slider. 1-1 is the count. Yes, VentureCast is definitely bringing us some good luck. Here's the pitch. Ripped second base. He's going to have himself a double. Holy crap. He line drove that ball so hard. It just kept going and going, and just like that, it was off what looked like off the wall. One foot below the top of the wall. Holy cow, he ripped that. 1 foot away from a line drive homer. Man. Lead off double. And Superman is at the plate. The people are still so shocked they forgot to boo Altuve. 88 miles an hour low and outside. Strike 1 on that swing and a miss. Come on, Altuve. Let's put the hurt on the Stankies right here. 0-1 is the count. Here comes the pitch. 93 right in there. Taken for strike 2. 0-2. Driving along the Central Oregon coast today and thankful for the live stream. Thank you for being here. I'm thankful for you listening in. Here's the pitch. High and outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Altuve. No outs. Sanchez. Mr. Sanchez is on second base. The Astros with 3 hits now. Looking to take back that lead. Come on, Superman. Here's the toss. He hits that one foul down the third base side. Count remains 1-2. Yeah, the Mariners, it seemed like yesterday they were like 6 games back. And now they're just, what, 1.5? It's crazy. Here's the pitch. 88 miles an hour. That pitch had to have been a good 1.5 feet above the zone. And Altuve went after it. Strike 3. Man, why did you go after that one, Altuve? That pitch was so far out of the zone, it was nuts. They are showing some postseason walk-offs by the Astros. Speaking of Correa, he's at the plate. Geaux comes off the mound and fakes a throw to second base. Resets the pitch clock, and that's 1 disengagement. Orgasmo, yes, but I am Sanchez. South Korea, that's right. South Korea at the plate. South Korea. Here's the pitch. 88 right in there. What is with the Astros not swinging at these balls in the zone? Swinging at these pitches outside, way outside the zone, way above the zone. Letting pitches in the zone just fly right by. Come on, Correa, you're better than this. There's the 0-1 pitch. That's in the zone, but he fouls it off. 97 mile per hour fastball and 0-2. We can't waste our base runners in scoring position. Are we going to rely on Christian Walker? Because that's who's up next. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Correa hits that one through on the right side. They're going to be waving him around. Here comes Sanchez. He's in there. They call him safe at the home. Sanchez, full speed running in, never slides. He just flies in, standing up, and ran straight through the plate. RBI single to the right side. Holy cow, Sanchez was booking it. There's another one of those professional hits. That big old gap on the right side. Look at that, just in time. That's what you call professional hitting and professional base running right there. Boom. This game is tied 2-2. 4 hits for each team, 2 runs for each team. Christian Walker at the plate. Correa got to second base on that play. How about that? We've got another runner in scoring position with 1 out. First pitch taken outside by Christian Walker. Feel the force. Feel the force flow through you, Luke. Don't use the helmet. Don't use the helmet, Walker. Low and outside. Use the force, Christian. Use the force. You know, I knew your father. This was your father's bat. He would want you to have it. Here's the 2-0. A little outside. Oh, goodness gracious. Called a strike. A little outside there, ump. About 2 inches outside the zone. But 2 balls and 1 strike instead of 3-0. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. 98 miles an hour, hits straight up in the air. Looks playable. The catcher is underneath it and puts it away. Had to fight the sun for it. But Walker flies out. He fouls out to the catcher. 2 outs. Yainer Diaz comes to the plate. Maybe he can go opposite field. Come on, Yainer, I believe in you. That's all we need. With 2 outs, Correa is going to be running on contact. A stereotypical opposite field hit right here would score another run and give us the lead back. Here's the first pitch. In the dirt. Whew. Catcher somehow stops that one. Christopher Walken doing Obi-Wan Kenobi. Is that possible? I'll have to think about it, Mr. Page. Give me a moment to think about it, and I'll try to do it. It's going to be terrible, but I'll try to do it. Here comes the 1-0. Swing and miss. Yainer with a half swing. He chases the slider way outside and low. That's the bane of Yainer's existence, is it not? The slider, the Swiffer, way outside and low. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. 97 up and high. Check swing. They say he did not go. That's ball 2. 2-1. Yeah, might as well put Caratini on first base. It would give us another left-handed bat, wouldn't it? I'm all for it. And Caratini's been hot. Where is he? Why is he not in the lineup? He's been freaking hot. Crazy decision. Here's the pitch. Opposite field, but right to the second baseman, unfortunately. And that's out number 3. The Astros managed to tie it up thanks to a little action from Sanchez. Man, look how close that was. Woo! 2 balls and 2 strikes. Or is it 2 runs and 2 runs? That's the end of the top of the 4th. Astros put 1 more on the board to tie it up. We officially have a reset in this game. 4 hits for both teams, no errors, 2-2. Valdez will be back up on the mound in just a moment. He's at 50 pitches. He'll be facing Trent Grisham. Grisham, the 7th guy in the batting order. It'd be nice for Fromber to have 3 up and 3 down, 7, 8, 9. We'll see if he can do it. A single to tie the game falls in the get or did category. Yeah. You're right, Mr. Page, but unfortunately it turned out to be the too cold, right? Yainer Diaz and Christian Walker letting us down back to back. 2 strikeouts their last at bat, a foul out and a ground out their next at bat. I'm telling you, rally killers, putting them back to back is a terrible decision. Hey, Drambaum, thanks for coming in. Good to see you. Yeah, I agree with Gregory 100%. I was actually surprised to see Diaz in this game. I was expecting to see Caratini. Seeing Diaz in there several games in a row, I don't quite get it. My instinct was that Caratini would be catching today, and Diaz would not even be DHing, that he would be on the bench for backup if they need it. And they made a mistake by leaving the left-handed bat, the switch-hitting bat of Caratini out of the lineup, and they're paying for it right now. I think that Caratini could have driven in that run just now. He's been hot. Why would you not have him in there? Give Diaz a break. Come on. Valdez is back on the mound. Here's a first pitch to Grisham, 94. A little high. He was showing bunt. He pulls back in time. 1-0 is the count. Yeah, absolutely, Brendan. We need to separate those guys. If they're both going to be in the lineup, they don't need to be back-to-back. That just kills the middle of the batting order. This is hit hard to right field. That's going to be down for a hit. Grisham keeps hitting line drives against the Astros. Leadoff runner. Hey, Ross. Thanks for checking in. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, you're right. He doesn't need to be an everyday player, Mr. Page. You're correct about that. Here's the pitch to to Diaz. We're talking about Diaz. I said, here's the pitch to Diaz. Well, in a way, it kind of is to Diaz. He's catching. So that's a strike to Caballero. Runner on first, no outs. Here's the second pitch, rather. Man, I'm all over the place here. It's 4:11 in the morning. I'm going to give myself a pass and another sip of coffee. Caballero fouled that pitch off. The count is 0-2. Here comes the pitch from Fromber. Fouled off again. Count remains 0-2. Diaz is also a notoriously streaky player, Drambaum. He can go through an extended period of playing really good ball and then go through an extended period of bad ball. Here's the pitch. This is hit high in the air. Is it going to be playable? Nope. Floats out of play. Count remains 0-2. Yeah, Gregory, actually, I think I need to pour myself a second cup. I am now finished with that one. I finished it off. It was too cold. It's still raining outside. I can't believe that the rain has not stopped at all since about 8 o'clock yesterday. And it was sprinkling before that for about an hour and a half while I was out there digging around in the yard. Here's the 0-2. Rifle down the third baseline, foul. Remains 0-2. Yeah, Daryl. You know what? If they do that, if they do actually get the late magic, it's fine by me. Even though it's a little stressful for us, imagine how much more stressful it is for the Stanky fans, if you want to call them fans. Fromber throws it over to first base. No threat to run, I think, is Grisham. He doesn't look like a speed demon. He looks like one of those fast turtles, like Paredes. Here comes the 0-2. Woo, just a little below the zone for ball one. 1-2. Ross, are you being serious? Couldn't afford Tucker. Bregman was overpriced, and we got better players now than Bregman. 91 miles an hour, again fouled off. The count remains 1-2. I mean, Paredes has been solid for us. He's been great. He got injured, but then we got Correa. I would much rather have Correa than Bregman. I mean, who would rather have Bregman than Correa? Really? I think that's a minority of people. Here comes a 1-2 rather. This is hit hard to left field, left center. McCormick grabs it. That's out number 2. No, I'm sorry, out number 1. That's right. We don't have any outs yet. Runner remains on first base. 60 pitches now for Valdez. With 1 out in the bottom of the 4th, Ryan McMahon comes to the plate. Valdez is sitting on exactly 15 pitches per inning on average. 96 right in there, strike 1, taken all the way. Here comes the 0-1 pitch to McMahon. This is hit high in the air. Looks playable. Come on and get it. Yes, McCormick comes all the way in. Holy freaking cow, I was getting a little worried there. hit high in the air, and it hung just long enough for McCormick to come in and make a diving catch on it. Good job, buddy. He sucked that up just like a Tasmanian devil should. Look at that. Good job, buddy. I'd give you a big hug if I could. 2 away. Runner remains on first. That brings up Paul Goldschmidt. That's low and inside. Ball 1. Yeah, even an injured Paredes and Correa is far better than having Bregman. I believe so. And we're paying a lot less than we would pay Bregman. That's another crazy thing. We're getting a huge discount on Correa. Low and inside in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes. Come on, lock her in. Lock her in, Valdez. My name is Juan Valdez. Juan Valdez. Speaking of that, I need some more hot water in here to get my second cup of coffee. There we go. 2 balls and no strikes. Here's the pitch to Goldschmidt. This is line drive to right field. Is it going to be catchable? Yes, it is. There we go. Sanchez is on the warning track to make the 3rd out. A little bit of trouble for Fromber there, but he gets through it with no runs given up. 5 hits now for the Stanks. But it's tied up 2-2. Yeah, that's right, John. Nothing that Tucker is doing overall this season is worth the price that they're paying. And there are a lot of people talking about how if things don't work out for the Cubs in the playoffs, there's a good chance that they won't have Tucker next season. They're going to lose a lot of money on him. Absolutely. Yeah, you know, if Chaz could just be a solid 250 hitter, I'd be happy. Right now he's batting 224. Just to give you an idea, I still remember his batting average when he came back off of the rehab. His batting average was 253. I was so happy to see his batting average at 253, and I thought, man, how nice would it be if he could keep his batting average right there. Well, now he's batting 224. I remember last year it just kept going down and down and down, and I predicted it's going to get below 200. It actually went below 190, and they just kept playing him. I didn't understand it. I really didn't understand it. It was all because of his outfield glove. We needed him in the outfield. Didn't have really any other choices. That's pretty sad when you got to play a guy with a batting average below 190 because you don't really have anybody to play out there. How ridiculous is that? The Tram is at the plate. Big hero of last night's game. The second big hero. Oh, and 1 is the count. He takes that first pitch on the outside edge and promptly calls timeout, but he's back in the box now. Here comes the pitch. Right in the middle of the plate, he pops that one to the left side, and the shortstop is going to put it away. Out number 1. Well, if Tucker has a playoff like he has been, then he won't get that money. Outside, way outside, Ramon Urias at the plate for the Astros. Waiting for him to have a big day. He's 0 for 1 so far. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Way up high, 2-0. 1 out, nobody on. Top of the fifth, guys. The game is tied 2-2. I really wish we could. I really wish we could keep Jeremy Pena. He's going to be a superstar. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Above the zone. 3-0 to Urias. What if Tucker came back to Houston? Cubs pay for like 75% of his salary. 94 right in there. Urias was taken all the way on the 3-0 pitch. Now it's 3-1. He might be getting tired. Gill is up to 68 pitches. Here's his 69th. This is hit high into left field, but it's going to be playable. Bellinger puts it away. Too much of a floater. 122 people, 127 on the live stream right now. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for listening in. If you're an Astros fan, feel free to subscribe, like the live stream, whether you're a fan or not. What in the world is that? Chas McCormick just stood there. He didn't have any plan to swing. He just stood there, took the first pitch down the middle. 0-1. Here comes the next toss. Low and outside. 1-1 is the count. I'd definitely take Tucker, Casey. But once again, it would depend on if it was a deal or not. If it was overpaying, then no way. Absolutely not. Just like Alex Bregman. I'd only take Bregman if we needed him and the price was good. Here's the pitch. Fouled off. 87 right in the zone. 1 ball and 2 strikes to McCormick. 2 away, nobody on. Here in the top of the fifth. I'm still waiting on one of those surprises by the Chasmabian Devil. Waiting for him to just jack one out suddenly and surprise the crap out of me. Here comes the toss. He rips this one down the line, all the way out of the wall. That's a surprise. He's going to have himself a double. Standing up. That's only his second extra base hit since coming back to the Astros. All right. We got ourselves a runner in scoring position. That brings up Jesus Sanchez. Sanchez with a double his last... No, I'm sorry. Pena. I'm sorry. I don't know what was going on with the information on my screen. The Flash is at the plate. Takes a first pitch for ball 1. So the Chasmanian Devil shows us a little glimpse of himself. And here's the next pitch to Pena. Ooh, 91 right in there. Pena took a cut at it, but could not get the bat on it. The count is even 1-1. Here's the next pitch. Outside, swing and a miss. Pena, why'd you go after that one? That looked like rookie Pena right there. Chasing that stuff way outside and low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. We got a runner on second base. Chas McCormick, of all people, gets a double. We've got him in scoring position. Our best batter at the plate. With a 1-2 count and 2 outs. Come on, Pena. Let's do it. Low and outside, 2-2. I'm not butthurt about anything. Some of these players that left, they could get a lot more than what they ever could here. Outside. Full count to Jeremy Pena. .78 pitches now for Louis Gill. He's starting to get up there. Full count pitch on the way. Outside, ball 4. So Pena comes back and gets a walk. That's actually the first walk given up by Gill. Catcher comes out to the mound to have a little chit-chat. Looks like the pitching coach wants to come out and check on the tosser. Well, Altuve stayed, that's true, but you know, you can't. Correa leaving, Bregman leaving, the other players leaving, and Altuve staying, and whatever. Those things are not apples to apples. All of those situations are a little different. So I'm not butthurt about anybody leaving. And Tucker, he left because it was not up to him. Jesus Sanchez comes to the plate. He missed a home run by about a foot his last at bat. Here's the first pitch. 96 right in there. Strike one. 80 pitches now for Gil. We've got runners on first and second with 2 outs. How about a 3-run shot? Add a home run to your hits today, Mr. Sanchez. Here's the pitch. Way high. 1-1. Absolutely, we need to make them pay. The crowd is really quiet right now. They are scared. They are some kind of scared. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Sanchez rips it down the line, foul. 1-2 is the count. But you know, Gil has got himself into a little bit of an old-timey jam. And what do you know? They've got the guy warming up in the bullpen right now. One ball, 2 strikes to Jesus Sanchez. There comes the pitch. Oh, he goes underneath that one. Swing and a miss. 89 miles an hour. Sanchez is smiling about it. He knows that was not a bad pitch. But actually, it looks like Sanchez thought that was going to drop. He was swinging at a breaking ball, and the ball didn't break. It just stayed kind of flat, and he swung underneath it. He was kind of guessing. He guessed wrong. And that's it for the Astros. They strand 2 runners on. 5 hits for each team now. It seems like we're staying pretty even. Yanks get a hit. We get a hit. We get a couple of runs. They get a couple of runs. Whatever. 2-2 going into the bottom of the 5th. I definitely want to give them something to boo about, Prodigy. You're right. Altuve. Jose Altuve. Man, I need a little more of that fan. There we go. That's better. Starting to get a little warm. A little warm over here in the corner. Let's see here. Jason says Astros lineup can be dangerous. They can be. But I feel that they could be improved with a little tweaking in the batting order. And I think we would have been much better today with Caratini in the lineup instead of Diaz. Diaz needed a break today. And Caratini, I mean, I don't understand it, guys. Do you understand? Caratini has been one of the hottest bats on the team. For the past couple of months, he's been freaking awesome. His OPS has gone way up. His average has gone way up. He's been awesome. And yet, where is he? Why is he not in the game? I don't get it. He's a switch hitter. He could be helping us right now in this lineup. We could have, if they're going to have Walker in there, fine. But instead of Diaz batting right behind Walker, why not have Caratini in the game? I don't understand that. 93 miles an hour to Aaron Judge in the bottom of the zone, strike one. Leadoff batter. Here's the 0-1 pitch in the dirt. 1-1 to Judge. You can't always get what you want. That's right. That's true, Gregory.
I can't
always get what you want. 1-1 is the count. Here comes the toss. In the dirt again. 2 balls and 1 strike. Come on now. Judge has been walked. Had a grounder up the middle for a base hit. And now he's got the 2-1 count. Oh, thank you, Braden. Yeah, it's 4:30 in the morning right now. Here's the pitch. On the outside edge, he holds up 3-1. Fromber threatening to walk Judge again. Dram Bam, thank you so much. Actually, the reason I have all these new members is because they were gifted. These are gift memberships. Here's the next pitch. Fouled off on the right side, 95 in the bottom of the zone, and it is a full count to Aaron Judge. Yeah, VentureCast gifted 5 memberships. So he's very generous to do that. Timer violation. They're going to send Judge on a 3-2 count. Fromber Valdez gets a timer violation. Second walk to Judge. He's been on base 3 times. Fromber's like, it's all right, no big deal. I hope not. Cody Bellinger at the plate. Here's the pitch. Right in there, 93 miles an hour for strike 1. Have you guys noticed, when I see Bellinger at the plate, he's like a beanpole, isn't he? Really thin. Judge on first base with no outs. How about a Fromber special? A nice double play ball. The 0-1 pitch on the way. This is hit hard to center field. Chaz can't get to it. He's going to have to play it on a hop. Judge will go to second base. Bellinger gets the single right up the middle. Runners on first and second with no outs. We've got another jam. And Fromber just can't have a 1-2-3 inning, can he? Yeah, Drambaum, definitely a lot of good people out there. Yeah, I haven't heard anything about Caratini having any kind of injury, old dog. That's going to be right at the middle for a hit, and I think it's going to score a run. They're going to wave Judge around. Here he comes. 3-2. Yankees get the lead back. Runners on the corners. Stanton with a single right up the middle. Another ground ball right through the hole. Right in the middle of the plate. No movement on that pitch at all. Six hits. No, I'm sorry, 7. That's hit number 7. 2 hits this inning and a walk. That's what happens when you start off the inning walking somebody with a timer violation on a full count. Ben Rice at the plate. No outs. Runners on the corners. A little below the zone. Just barely misses for ball 1. 3-2. Astros are behind again. Now that the Yankees have the lead, it's just a matter of time before a Yankees fan comes into the chat and starts saying something. Low and outside for strike 1. They always wait until they have the lead or they tie the game up, then they start trash talking. Whenever they're behind, they don't say anything. They're too scared. They're like cockroaches. 1 ball, 1 strike. You have Ben Rice cookies? That's funny. Oh, Rice rookies. Rookies. I thought you said cookies. I glanced at it. Ground ball percentage. Fromber Valdez is actually number 2 right now behind Jose Soriano. Here comes the 2-1 pitch to Ben Rice. Low and outside. 3-1. Man, come on, Fromber. Control is not there. 77 pitches. The Astros probably should have somebody warming up in the bullpen right now. Here comes the 3-1. That's in there. Grounded to second. It might be a double play. Pena over to first. There we go. But that scores a run. 4-2. 2 outs. But that's the 4th earned run for Fromber. Runner on third scores while they're getting the double play. So 7 hits for the Stankies and 4 runs on the board. 2 outs, nobody on. Volpe at the plate. First pitch is in there, strike 1. 94 mile per hour sinker. Have you been Rice? Have you been Rice? Never in my life have I ever been Rice. I've been eating rice. Fouled off for strike 2. 0-2 is the count to Anthony Volpe. Caleb Ort is loosening up in the bullpen now. Now they have somebody warming up. After the runs are scored. That's good. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Finally a strikeout. Can you believe, guys? You're not going to believe this, all right? You're not going to believe this. But that swing and a miss, that strikeout right there, that's the first swing and a miss on Fromber's curveball today. Can you believe that? 5 innings, and there hasn't been one swing and a miss on a Fromber Valdez curveball. That tells you what kind of day it's been for Fromber. I mean, you can look at the score and see it's not been a good day. 4 runs in 5 innings. But not a single swing and a miss on his curveball until the 5th inning. And it was the last out. The last strike, the last out of the inning. That's crazy. But yeah, Tommy has been really wanting a swingy, and he finally gets one. He's starving to death, waiting for a swingy, and he finally gets one in the 5th inning. Likely the only one that Fromber will throw today. Goodness gracious. It has not been a typical Fromber day, Fred. You're right. Money makes you complacent. Well, you know, Ross, that's not the reason Fromber is... I wouldn't say that money is making Fromber complacent. Because right now, it's very important to Fromber's future contract to be pitching really well. Right now, he needs to be pitching well. Because whether he stays with the Astros or he goes to another team, if he wants to maximize the contract that he gets, he needs to be pitching well. So he can't afford to be complacent right now. Superman is at the plate. First pitch is on the way. 89, way inside. Almost hit him. Louis Gill is still in the game. He's up to 85 pitches with this next toss. Here it is. 90 miles an hour. Swing and a foul tip miss. 1-1 is the count. Yeah, and they're being hit in the hole, Fred. They're being hit where they can't get to them. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Altuve rips it foul down the third baseline. Altuve 1 for 2 today with a single line drive. Somebody on the bullpen warming up. I think he does care. He cares. He wants that paycheck. How could he not care? I don't see how he could not care. That's on the outside. 2-2 is the count to Altuve. Here comes the pitch. The 2-2 That was outside, and this is punched to the shortstop for out number 1. Altuve lost his helmet on that hit. 1 away. Carlos Correa comes to the plate. We're down by 2 runs here in the top of the 6th. RBI single for Correa today. With 1 out, nobody on. Here comes the pitch. 91. Oh and 1 is the count to Correa. Here's the next toss. That's also in there. Strike 2, up and in on the slider. Gil up to 90 pitches now. Let's see if the Astros can knock him out this inning. Come on, Correa. Here's the pitch. This is hit hard to left field. That's going to be down. A nice single. 2 for 3 today with a couple of singles. There we go. Correa is hot right now. 9 of 12 of his last at-bats. Look at this. They're showing these stats on screen right now. Look at this. Since July 1st on the road, Caratini batting .431 with a 1.1 OPS. He's not in the game. Tell me where that makes any sense at all. Makes no sense. I've been saying Gil this whole time. They pronounce his name Heel. They're taking him out. They're going to bring in another pitcher. So they're not going to let... They're going to bring in Mark Letter. They're not going to let Heel pitch to Christian Walker. The threat that is Christian Walker. Wow. Amazing. Mark Leiter Jr. There we go. Ross, how about we just put you in timeout for 24 hours? How about that? See ya. Enjoy your 24-hour timeout, you big baby. What is wrong with people? Come in here saying things that don't make any sense at all. Does it make any sense at all to say that Framber Valdez is pitching bad because money has made him complacent? That literally makes no sense. Framber is coming to the end of his contract. It's in his best interest to be pitching better right now, because the better he pitches, the more he raises his value. And the more he raises his value, the bigger payday he's going to get. If he doesn't pitch very well, then it will be very easy for the Astros to sign him if they want to keep him, because if he does really, really well, he'll get a huge payday, and the Astros probably won't be able to pay it. It's just common sense, you know? Leiter is on the mound facing Christian Walker with 1 out and South Korea on first base. Here's the first pitch. 93, right in the middle of the zone. Walker starts it off, taking strikes again. Jordan, I hope so. Please, just tie it up with 1 swing, Walker. We've got to do this to the Stanks. 0-1 is the count. Here's the pitch. Outside, 1-1. 94 miles an hour on the stinker. Here comes a 1-1 pitch. Hey, that was a nice take. Dirty curveball. Looked like it was going straight at the zone. Went into the dirt. Walker took it. 2-1. This is Mark Leiter. Well, let's light her up. Here's a 2-1. Walker grounds it to short. He fumbles it. But it doesn't matter. They turn 2, and that's it. Walker grounds into a double play. Ends the inning. There we go with the rally killers again. If Walker doesn't end it, Yiner will. That's the way they're playing this game. Man, I kid you not. I'm feeling sick in my stomach right now. The way that Walker and Diaz are playing in this game. They're going to have to turn it around. Please, please, just pull them out. Pull out one of them and put in Caratini. I don't care. Catching or first base. He could play both. He could play both. Put him in both. Yes, Elvis, you're right. You know, it's crazy. They literally just showed on the screen the 3 hottest players on the Astros lineup, the 3 hottest hitters. Caratini was number 1, batting over 400 with a 1.1 OPS. He has been gangbusters. Where is he? Why is he not in the lineup? Why is he not in the lineup? I really don't understand the logic here. It reminds me once again of the line that Jean-Claude Van Damme had in the movie Universal Soldier, where, you know, he starts to like kind of lose himself, you know, because his body is like reanimated, and they brought him back to make him kind of like a controllable soldier, right? And he's standing there, and I think he's talking to this lady, and he doesn't know what to do. And he looks at her and he says, "I am confused." That's exactly how I feel. I am confused. I really don't know what's going on. Why is Caratini not in the game? If they're saving him just for the end to bring him in like in the 8th inning or something and let him bat 1 or 2 times, complete waste. Complete waste. He should have been catching today or on first base. Yiner or Walker should have been given a break today. I would have given Walker the break, though, because at least Diaz hits opposite field a lot, and he would have better luck, I think, at the end of the day than Walker. Valdez is back on the mound. He's up to 81 pitches. He's facing Trent Grisham. Swing and a miss. Nice toss right in the middle of the zone. The stinker. Walker, Texas Ranger. That's right. Here's the 0-1. In the dirt. Check swing. He holds up. 1 ball, 1 strike to Grisham. Yeah, Jordan, I am definitely with you on that. As long as we get a W out of this, I'm fine. And we are staring down too many pitches, Viper. You're right. That slider missing. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's a pitch. That's hit up the middle again. Another one of those singles. Grisham is 2 for 3. Man, Grisham batting .245. 2 for 3 against Fromber. Fromber just can't get his pitches past these batters. Jose Caballero comes to the plate. We've got a leadoff runner on. Here's the pitch. And he bunts it. Fromber's going to grab it and go to first base. Terrible throw in the dirt, but Walker scoops it up to get the out. One of the things that Walker's good at is making scoops like that. But man, Fromber spun around on that bunt and threw a terrible toss over to first base. Look at that. How in the world? This is the kind of play that Walker can make. But then again, so can Caratini. Just saying. 1 away, runner on second base. McMahon at the plate, up and in for ball 1. Sweet Richard. You said let's go Yankees? Get out of here. Get out of here with that. Here's the next pitch. Swing and a miss, 94 miles an hour. The stinker gets him for 1 strike. 1-1 is the count to Ryan McMahon. Fromber is set. Here comes the toss. Right in there, 96 miles an hour. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jordan Caratini, secret 10th inning weapon. 10th inning. Good Lord, I hope not. I hope we can win this in 9. I really do. Here comes a 1-2. Woo! Almost gets it on the inside. Just barely missed a strike 3 call there. He took it. McMahon is smiling about it. He knows that it was close. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yes, Still Viper, you're right. They did do that, didn't they? This is tapped to the right side. Walker grabs it. Touches first base, but the runner goes to third. 2 away. And Fromber's coming out. They are pulling him out after getting those 2 outs. It looks like Caleb Ort will be coming in. That's what it appears to be. Five and 2/3 inning, 91 pitches, 52 strikes, and Fromber is going to take a seat. Caleb Ort wanders into the game. And I don't have his image. I don't have his new image. Let's see here. Caleb Ort. There we go. I got to send these instructions to the AI so I can make myself a new image for Caleb Ort. Let's take a look at the live chat right quick and see what the heck is going on in there. Yeah, Still Viper, I wanted to get to your comment. Still Viper says that they did the same thing with Pena in the Red Sox game. They gave him the day off, but right at the end of the game, they brought him in to pinch hit. Yeah, basically when it was too late. They didn't have any other options, but they brought him in way too late. It was too late. And I feel like that's what they're going to do with Caratini. It's going to tick me off. You know what? I don't even want to see Caratini. If they don't bring him in right now, because right now it's the 6th inning. It's the bottom of the 6th. If they don't bring him in right now, then I don't want to see him. Because it's going to upset me. It's going to be too late. He needs at least a couple of opportunities to be at the plate. Ort is on the mound. He's ready to go. I hope so. Paul Goldschmidt at the plate. First pitch is on the way. A little high. Ball 1. We got a runner on third with 2 outs. Let's go, Ort. Let's Gort. Let's Gort. How about that? Let's Gort. Here's the pitch. 97, foul tip, strike 1. Or is it let's Gort? That's redonkulous. 1-1 is the count. Here comes the toss. Goldschmidt fouls that off. That was right off of Diaz's face. But he's all right. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Man, it's taking way too long to generate this image. the inning will be over. But Ort might be pitching in the next inning. He probably will be. He gets out of this one right quick. Here comes a 1-2 pitch. Mr. Goldschmidt. He hits this one in the right foul. It's coming down. Sanchez misplays it for a second. He holds up, and then he speeds up and he grabs it. Whew, man. Puts it away for out number 3. Stranded base runner there, but no extra damage done, thankfully. Ort gets the job done. He gets the out that he needs. Runner left on third base. 4-2, Stanks. 8 hits versus the Astros 6. We've got 2 runs to make up. Yainer Diaz is due up, followed by Taylor Trammell and then Ramon Urias. Whew. Richard, man, you're feeling a little angry today. It took me a moment to realize what you're talking about Framber Valdez. Take that dead octopus off his head, and he'll improve. That in combination with the Go Yankees message, I'm surprised to see these messages coming from you. Did somebody hack your account? That's what it feels like. Because I don't think those are things that you would normally say. I'm a little confused. I'm a little confused about those comments. Why attack Framber's looks? He's been our #1 pitcher this whole season. He struggles a little bit and then he gets insulted because of his hair? That doesn't seem like you. That's not typically your attitude. That's not your behavior. Yep, Yainer, give him a shiner. That's right. Yainer needs to give him a shiner. Man, what in the world? Why is it taking so long to make this image for Ort? It's stuck on getting started. I guess I'm not going to have an image for Ort. Maybe I can put his old image in there. Luke Weaver is in the game for the Stanks. He was in yesterday. Yainer at the plate. Here comes the first pitch. Luke Weaver also looks pretty scrawny. He looks thinner than Corey Bellinger. 1-0. 2 for 4 in his career versus Luke Weaver is Yainer Diaz. Batting .500 against him. That's high and outside for ball 2. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Yainer chases a pitch way outside that could have been ball 3. Instead, it's 2-1. It's okay if you want to go for that and get an opposite field hit, but if you're not going to put the bat on it, don't swing, boy. Here's the 2-1. 95. That one's actually in the zone, but he can't get the bat on it. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. The count is even. The 2-2 pitch is on the way. Yainer hits that one straight up in the air. It looks playable on the infield. First baseman comes over to get it and puts it away in foul territory, and that's out number 1. So Yainer and Walker have produced nothing today. Let's see if the tram can pull out of the station and make the rounds again. Two hits yesterday, including a 2-run shot in extra innings that ultimately won the game for the Astros. Here comes the first pitch. He hits that one way up in the air. Second baseman is there, and he puts it away. Very first pitch is a fly out. The tram goes down, doesn't even get out of the station. Ramon Urias comes to the plate. A very quiet 7th inning so far. Are the Astros going to rally with 2 outs? This is a very quiet crowd in New York right now. Maybe that's the reason why they're not hitting. They're not getting enough hate. Maybe the game is too early. They're not drinking enough. It's too hot and miserable. Muggy weather. I don't know. 95, low and outside, but in there for strike 1. The Astro World Tram. You know, Dram Bam, if you come to Hiroshima, they got a bunch of streetcars here. I like them. Streetcars here are awesome. 95, swing and a miss, right in the center of the zone. Could not have been more center than that. 0-2 is the count. The crowd is lethargically clapping. They are so dead. 96 up and in, ball 1. This crowd is so dead. They do not deserve to win this game. Here comes a 1-2 pitch. Check swing. Low below the zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Some of them might be, Drambaum, streetcar named Desire. Some of them might be. I love the old ones that they have during Christmas time. They decorate them with Christmas lights. They're really cool. Check swing, and they say that he went, so that's strike 3. That's it for the Astros in the 7th. Nothing doing. Count remains. The count remains. The score remains 4-2. 5:02 in the morning here in Hiroshima. 8 hits for the Stankies. 6 hits for the Stros. It's 4-2. The Astros just have 2 more innings to get her did, because they are cold right now. They had their opportunity. They absolutely had their opportunity against a pitcher that they could have owned. They could have owned that guy, and they couldn't squeeze more than 2 out of him. I'm still waiting on my Caleb Wart picture. Finally, there it is. All right, now I just have to put it here. It's not a bad picture. This one's pretty good. I like it. It's not bad at all. Picture portraits. Caleb. What in the world is going on? Why can't... Eh? What in the world is going on? Everything just went haywire there for a second. I don't know what was going on, but whatever. It's all good now. Oh, my camera is frozen. What in the world is going on right now? I'm having a little trouble right now with my software. My software is acting a little crazy. I'm not sure what's going on. It seems to be locked up. I guess you guys can still hear me right now. On my screen, everything is frozen up on my screen at the moment. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. Suddenly everything froze up. Drambam, is everything frozen? Actually, I think I can check the live stream myself. Let's see. And click the live. No, it's actually working. Yeah, it is. It's working. That's strange. My software here is all frozen. Everything on the screen is frozen. On the live stream, it's fine, but on the screen on my software, it's frozen. Caleb Ort is in the game right now. That first pitch is in there for strike one. Judge is at the plate. He takes the first pitch for strike one. Here's the next toss. A little low, ball one. Here comes the next pitch. This is hit really hard out to left field, all the way out, but Trammell is underneath it. Whew. Thought that was going to go, but it died, thankfully. Yeah, it looks like my... Let me take a look at my highlight window. My highlight window seems to not be working correctly. Let me see if I can fix that. First pitch delivered to Cody Bellinger is a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the next pitch from Ort. This is hit hard to left field, left center. Trammell's underneath it. He's going to put it away. Okay, now it's working. This is weird. Okay, guys, you're going to have to bear with me because my software on my computer is literally frozen. But it seems to be working on the live stream right now. So strange. Yeah, it did look gone. Swing and a miss by Giancarlo Stanton. 2 outs right now, with no runners on here in the bottom of the 7th. Ort on the mound. Here comes the next pitch. Inside, a little too far inside. Ball one. Thanks, Steel Viper. Thanks for letting me know. And thank you, Abel. Thank you, everybody. Drambam, thanks for letting me know. Here's the pitch. 99 miles an hour by Caleb Ort. Fouled off. Bounces off the mask of Diaz. Maybe I need to upgrade the RAM in my computer. It's just another one of those things. Can't afford to do that right now. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Caleb Ort gets the strike 3. And that is out number 3. Looks like we got another reliever warming up in the bullpen for the Stankies. And we'll be back in just a moment. This game remains 4-2 going into the top of the 8th. We are finished with 7 innings of ball. Pretty sad. They just showed the top performers in the game, and one of those is Jeremy Pena. He's 1 for 2. That's a pretty sad game when one of your top performers is 1 for 2. Sad indeed. Yeah, I don't know exactly what happened with my software, but a few minutes ago, suddenly everything on my screen just froze. Nothing worked. And then the screens went black, and after a couple seconds came back, but after that, my software is completely froze up. It's working when I click on it. It works, but it remains frozen. The only reason I know that it works is because it changes in the live feed. But it's very strange. It's very strange. I rode the Hurricane with Cheap Trick. Are you talking about the band? Really? That's really cool. Luke Weaver still on the mound? I thought they were going to have another guy come in. Maybe they just haven't updated it on the MLB site yet. Yeah, they haven't updated it. Now Caratini is in the game. 101 miles an hour inside, ball 1. He's batting for Chas McCormick. They bring him in the 8th. Here's the pitch. 99 on the inside edge. Strike 1, 1-1. Come on. If we ever needed the Batman, we need him right now. Caratini calls timeout and steps out of the box for a moment. 1 ball and 1 strike. Camilo Duvall is on the mound, but I cannot change his name on my screen. 89 miles an hour right in there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yeah, Death Before Dishonor says a bloop and a blast. That would be nice. Or a blast and another blast. Even that's okay. Here's the pitch to Caratini. In the dirt, 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes to the Batman. Here comes the toss. A little outside and low. 3-2. Caratini's the leadoff batter here in the top of the 8th. Full count right now. Here comes the full count pitch from Duvall. 99, and he fouls it off. Drambam says, didn't think they'd bring in Duvall again today. Yeah, I don't know their pitcher's limitations or whatever too well, but too far inside, ball 4. The Batman becomes the Walkman. All right, we have a leadoff runner with Jeremy Pena at the plate. Pena started this game off with a homer, and since then hasn't really done anything. Cam Smith is brought in, so Caratini is immediately brought out of the game or taken out of the game. Cam Smith is running. I guess it makes sense. It is the 8th inning. Why not? Here's the first pitch to Pena. A little low, 98 miles an hour, ball 1. Yeah, Dram Bam. Speaking of Dram Bam, I hope that's what we do right here. A little bit of Dram Bam against Duvall. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Right in the bottom of the zone, 88 mile per hour slider. The count is even. 1-1. 1-1 to Pena. Here's the toss. A little low and outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. That's right. Well, according to all the fans, they all hated that they brought in the pitcher yesterday that they brought in. They think it was the biggest mistake ever. They don't like that pitcher. Swing and a miss below the zone, 90 miles an hour on the slider. That one dropped down almost to the dirt. Pena went totally after, went down on his knee to try to get to it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Come on. Come on, Flash. Here comes the 2-2. Swing and a miss. 89 miles an hour right below the zone. The Flash goes down. 1 out. Cam Smith still on first base. And that brings up Jesus Sanchez. Sanchez with a big hit earlier also, right off the top of the wall. Righty against lefty. Here comes the first pitch. 99, just above the zone and called a strike. Questionable. Yeah, Abel, he was trying for it, but maybe trying a little too hard. Yeah, a couple of bad swings. Bad swing on the one that was basically in the dirt, and then the other one. 0-1 to Sanchez. Here's the toss. Taps that to the mound. They go to second base. It's a bad throw off the base. Everybody's going to be safe. That should have been a double play ball. But Duvall throws it wide. The shortstop has to come off the base to get it. And that should have been an inning-ending DP. Look at this throw. A tapper back to the mound, and look at this throw. He can't get even 1 out. Finally, the Astros get a little bit of luck. Runners on first and second with no outs, and the crowd is booing already. Cam Smith safe at second base, and Jose Altuve at the plate. I kid you not. Jose Altuve in the top of the 8th with 2 runners on and 1 out. We're down by 2 for Altuve. Here's the first pitch. Outside, 100 miles an hour. Ball 1. Absolutely. Yeah, what? What? Good? Good for us? Unbelievable. But this is at the Stankies Park. Come on, Altuve. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Opposite field, foul ball. He line drives it out into the crowd. 1-1 is the count. Yeah, you're right, Jordan. Keeping the inning going might have helped us out right there. It did help us out to keep the inning going, but it might turn into the biggest thing that we've got going. Here's a 1-1. Fouled off. 91 miles an hour on the slider, and the 1-2 is the count. I think that Altuve has basically been down in the count every time today. 1 for 3 today with a single. How about a big hit right here? Here's the pitch. Jose goes out to left field. It's going to be down. It lands on the ground. Cam Smith is coming in. Here's the throw. He's safe. The ball goes to the backstop. Runners will advance to second and third. Altuve with the single to left field. Sanchez goes over to third base. Altuve goes to second. Paris Chica tried to stop Cam Smith at third base, and Cam Smith kept going. How about that? Paris Chica told him to stop, and he ran right through it. Cam Smith ignores Paris Chica and goes home. 4-3. Astros have runners on second and third with one out. And Carlos Correa at the plate. Here's the pitch. Below the zone, ball one. Jose Altuve with a timely hit again. Correa is at the plate with 2 singles today. He's 2 for 3. Here's the pitch. Low and outside, ball 2. 2-0. 7 hits for the Astros now. 3 runs. We're just down by 1. Sanchez on third. Altuve on second. Correa at the plate with a 2-0 count. Duvall on the mound. Here comes the toss. Correa fouls it off. 98 right in there. Off and into the stands for strike 1. We're definitely cooking now. Maybe the Yankees get torched again by both Altuve and Correa. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. High and outside, 3-1. Correa has the hitter's count. Yeah, that was a nice take. It's an exciting ball right here, guys. Correa takes a timeout, steps out of the box. 3 balls and 1 strike. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Below the zone. Ball 4. Bases are loaded. And guess who comes to the plate? Christian Walker. Christian Walker with bases loaded and 1 out, guys. How does that make you feel? Career versus this pitcher is 4 for 9 with a couple of doubles, but guess what? They're going to pull this pitcher. They're going to take Duvall out. And they're going to bring in another pitcher. David Bednar. David Bednar. I'm letting you guys and gals know in the chat because I can't change it on my screen. Like I said, I've been trying to change, but I can't click. Everything is frozen, so I can't change the picture. So if you're wondering why I haven't changed the picture, my apologies. I can't do it. It won't let me. I'd like to be able to refresh the scene, but I can't. Well, a sacrifice fly would definitely tie up the game, which would be fine and dandy, but man, we really need to take the lead right here. We got bases loaded with 1 out. Yeah, right now, the Yankees fans have got to be scared to death. Isn't it funny? As soon as the Astros get a hit, I mean, think about that play. It should have been a double play, but Duvall threw it so wide, they couldn't even get the force out at second base, and immediately the crowd started booing. Immediately. The Yankees players do not even have the ability to make an error, to make a mistake. This whole game, no errors for either team, but now the Yankees have 2. Yeah, make them stanks cry. Steel Viper, yes it would. Would it not? And Christian Walker, he has done nothing in this game. He is 0 for 3. David Bednar. Here's the first pitch to Walker. 98 fouled off. Strike 1. I spelled his name wrong earlier. It's Bednar, but it's pronounced Bednar. 1 for 4 in his career against Bednar with a home run, actually. Here comes the next pitch to Walker. Oof. 79 miles an hour on the curveball. Swing and a miss. 0-2 just like that. So our success in this inning boils down to Walker and or Yainer Diaz. Here is the pitch. In the dirt, ball 1. 1-2 is the count. You're right, Jordan. This would have been a good place for Caratini, but Caratini did get us on the base, so don't forget about that. That's true. He did get us on base. Here comes a 1-2. In the dirt. 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes to Christian Walker with bases loaded here in the top of the 8th. 1 out. Go Astros. Here comes the pitch by Bednar. Way high. Ball 3. So from an 0-2 to a 3-2. You got back with your ex-girlfriend and moving your stuff back in her room. Well, I wish nothing but the best to you, Gregory. That things are even better than they were before. Here's the pitch. High, ball 4, and that's it. The game is tied. Christian Walker is able to do it without swinging the bat there. Finally, he stops swinging the bat. He takes 4 pitches. He goes from 0-2 to 4-2. This game is tied on a Christian Walker walk. He lives up to his name. Sanchez scores. We still have bases loaded, guys and gals, with 1 out. Maybe Yainer can just take these pitches. He does. He takes the first one high for ball 1. Let's just keep walking in runs. What if we got like 4 walks in a row and beat the Yankees by getting a bunch of walks? Man, you know the fans would be so angry about that. Here's a pitch. 98 right in there, swing and a miss. This game is tied. This crowd is not happy right now. They are super quiet right now, old dog. They booed a little bit on that walk, but right now they're super quiet. They're scared. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Yainer hits it foul, back and out of play. One ball and 2 strikes. Bases juiced. The tram on deck. Here comes the 1-2 pitch to Yainer in the dirt. 2-2. Let's hope Yainer gives him a shiner. Now Yainer did have a grand slam earlier this year. You know, just saying. Just saying. Caratini has a pair of grand slams this year. Why not Diaz? How about an opposite field grand slam? That'd be fine with me. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Grounds that one foul down the third base side. Count remains 2-2. They will really cry if we walk again. Oh, they will boo some kind of fierce, Jordan. If we get another walk right here and get another run, you know the crowd will be booing so heavily. They will be calling for the head of this pitcher and the manager again. Here's the pitch to Yainer. 98. Above the zone, swing and a miss. Out number 2. It comes down to the tram. If we're going to get the lead, it's going to come down to the tram. How about a tram slam? A tram slam. That's what I want to see. He had the 2-run homer yesterday. Are we going to see a tram slam? Over 3 today. 79 at the bottom of the zone. Strike 1. Oh and 1. Come on, Taylor Trammell. I believe in you. You're my man. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Ooh, 98. Swing and a miss. Another high fastball. Swing and a miss. 0-2, guys. Tram takes a timeout. Listen, there are a lot of guys out on your route. The tram must leave the station and pick them up and bring them back home. The crowd is finally making some noise, but it's not going to be what they think, right? Here comes the pitch. Foul tip, strike three, into the glove of the catcher. Tram goes down on the 99-mile-per-hour high fastball. Somehow, the Yankees get out of it, but the Astros get 2 runs and tie it up. We still have another chance. Still got another chance, but it's sad that we left bases loaded, right? That's unfortunate. We got 1 run out of that bases loaded. We had 2 more opportunities and couldn't convert. 4-4 going into the bottom of the 8th. A tram slam, man. I wanted to see that. That's on my bingo card. I am shocked. Man, all we needed from Yiner or Tram was just a little tap. Just a little tap. And both of them struck out on high fastballs. Couldn't get the bat on the ball. You know, with 1 out and bases loaded, Diaz could have just bunted the ball, you know? He could have just bunted it down the first baseline or something. Or even down the third baseline. Just bunt it past the pitcher. Score a run. You got to get that lead somehow. You know, you got to get the lead somehow. You know, it's not good if you don't get a lead. When you have bases loaded with 1 out. What are you doing? Yeah, Glenn, I mean, you gotta do something. You gotta do something to get the... If you're gonna swing and miss this guy, I mean, the guy's pitching 98, 99 miles an hour. I think it's not very easy for Diaz and Tram to hit that. So why not bunt the ball with 1 out and bases loaded? Could have bunted it down the third baseline. Brian King is on the mound for the Astros. I think I might be able to change the image there. Did the pitching image just change? It's not changed on my screen. I tried to change it. Brian King is on the mound here in the 8th, facing Ben Rice. Here's the pitch. Little tapper back to the mound. King grabs it, throws it to first, gets the out. Good job. 1 pitch, 1 out for King. Volpe comes to the plate in just a moment. VentureCast, I can't blame you. It was difficult to watch. Even though they scored a couple of runs, still difficult, right? Here's the first pitch to Volpe. Whoo! Little outside, but called a strike. Umpire gives it to King. We got 1 back, guys. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. This is hit to center field, right center. Playable. Cam Smith gets it on the warning track. The crowd got a little excited about that, but the park contained it. Out number 2. Trent Grisham comes to the plate. 2 down, nobody on. Come on, Magnum PI. Yeah, you're right. Death before dishonor. Before he gets on his plane, here's the pitch. 92 inside. Ball 1 to Grisham. Or is it Grissom? I think it's Grisham. Couple of singles today, but not off Brian King, my friend. 92 miles an hour, right in there for strike 1. The count is 1-1. That's right. Oh, thank you, Abel. On my screen, it still shows Valdez, but I tried to change it. Here's the pitch. A little low and outside, just a little out of the zone. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's the next pitch. Way outside. Man, Grisham was just standing there. He wasn't even going to swing at that pitch. And it was way outside. Could have easily been a strike. He wasn't ready. 3 balls and 1 strike. Here comes the next pitch from King. Oh, that's gone. It's a no-doubter. That's crushed. 5-4. King gives up a home run. A 2-out homer to Trent Grisham. The 7th guy in the batting order. All that work, all that effort to tie up this game, and just like that, we're down again. So we're going to have to play comeback again in the 9th inning. Absolutely, you're right. It is unbelievable. In the upper deck, that was gone, no doubter. Yeah, there was no doubt about that. Caballero is at the plate. Here's the first pitch. Swing and a miss on the fastball up and out of the zone. That's where that last pitch should have been. Right above the zone. Here's the next pitch. 92, up and out, ball 1. 1-1, it's even. Yeah, you're right, Steel Viper. Right now, maybe the game would be tied instead of us being down again. Caballero takes a timeout. The crowd is not very smart. They started booing like Brian King stepped off the mound, but it was a batter timeout. Not a very smart crowd. Here's a pitch. A little high. 2 balls and 1 strike. Yeah, that was a king-sized mistake right there. He lost his inner Magnum PI for a moment. Here comes the next pitch. Soft ground ball to Pena, who fires over to first base, and that will be out number 3. That's what we needed on that last batter, darn it. Goodness gracious. Our relievers were almost there. We were almost there. That's the end of the 8th, everyone. 9 hits for the Stankies. 7 hits for the Astros. 2 errors for the Stankies. None for the Stros. It's 5-4. We're down by 1. We got 1 chance here to either tie it up or take the lead. Ramon Urias is due up, followed by Cam Smith. And then Jeremy Pena. Urias is 0 for 3 today. Cam Smith has yet to have an at-bat because he came in as a pinch runner for Caratini. Now, what I would like to see... No, wait a second. Okay. All of the batting just changed up. It went a little crazy and changed up. But now it's back. Okay. Urias is 0 for 3. I'd like to see him get on base and Cam to get another RBI. Drive him in. Whether it's 2 RBIs or 1, at least 1. We need to drive him in and get back to the top of the batting order. Altuve's just a few batters away. Pena is in the hole. He will bat for sure. Sanchez is after that, and then Altuve. These are our best batters in the game so far. So Urias just needs to get on. That's all he has to do is get on. Give Cam Smith an opportunity to drive him around. Here comes the first pitch to Urias. Bednar still on the mound for the Stanks. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to shortstop, and he fires it over to first base. Urias grounds out on the very first pitch. Okay, so Urias is not going to get on. Let's change the game plan. So Cam Smith either needs to crank it up and tie up the game or get himself a nice hit and get on base. This is Cam's first at-bat of the game. Here comes the pitch from Bednar. 79-mile-per-hour curveball right in there for strike one. Yeah, Dram Bam. Cam Smith is overdue for some big hits. You're right about that. Here comes the pitch. Little check swing. Another splitter. A breaking ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Come on, guys. We can't lose this game. I know Fromber struggled, but we got to win it. It's 1-1 for the Gipper. 98 miles an hour. Outer upper corner swing and a miss. Strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Cam Smith, and he takes a little timeout to readjust his big orange gloves. '20th pitch of the game coming up for Bednar. Come on, Cam. Crank it up. Here's the pitch. Ground ball opposite side. Is he going to be able to beat it out? No. The pitcher is over there in plenty of time and to cover. Cam grounds out to first base. 2 away. Jeremy Pena. Pena started the game off with a homer. This is his 5th at-bat. Just 1 for 3 officially with a walk and a homer. Yes, we do, Mr. Page. We definitely need a hero, that's for sure. First pitch to Pena on the way with 2 outs and nobody on. Outside, ball 1. I don't want to tie up this game. I want to win this game. Come on. 1-0 pitch on the way. On the outside edge, curveball, strike 1. The count is even. Intentional walk. I don't know why they do that right now. Here comes a 1-1 pitch to Pena. 99 in the top of the zone, hit high in the air. 3 guys are over. And the right fielder calls everybody out, and I thought they were going to do Keystone Cops there for a moment. But the right fielder finally takes it, and that's it. The Astros lose 5-4. After coming back, they had the home run in the first, gave up the lead. Came back and tied it, immediately gave up the lead again. Came back and tied it, immediately gave up the lead again. Every single time. The Astros lead, gave it up. Tied, gave it up. Tied again, gave it up. What a game. As usual, we'll take a look at the scoring summary, but like I said so many times in the past, I'm not going to spend a lot of time looking at it because the Astros just didn't do well. We'll just take a quick look at it right quick. Pena homered in the first, 1-0. After that, they gave up a couple of runs in the second, 2-1. Correa singled in the fourth, scoring Sanchez, tied it up. But then in the fifth, they turned right around and gave it up again. Gave up 2 more runs, down 4-2. In the eighth, they tied it up again and left bases loaded, 4-4. They had 2 opportunities with bases loaded, and they didn't bring in anything. Well, they had 3. They got the walk. But after that, they had 1 out and bases loaded. And the next 2 batters, nothing. 2 strikeouts, Diaz and Trammell. And then in the 8th, they gave up the lead with a home run. Brian King, unfortunately, 5-4. Astros couldn't come back. What kind of game did Valdez have? 5.2 innings. He gave up 8 hits. He only had 1 strikeout. 4 runs and 4 walks. What a terrible game for Valdez today. 4 walks, 4 runs, 8 hits, and only 1 strikeout. 91 pitches and 52 strikes. Guys, barely half of his pitches were strikes. absolutely terrible game for Valdez today. And the Astros still had a chance. They still had a chance to win. Ort looked pretty good. He didn't give up anything. No hits, no runs, no walks. And he had 1 strikeout. He pitched 1.1 inning. He did really well. King started his inning off really good with the first 2 outs and then gave up the blast to right field. And that was ultimately the nail in the coffin for the Astros. That's it. So this series is tied 1-1. Let's take a quick look at tomorrow's game to see who's scheduled. As of right now, it's not decided. It's not decided. Still Vibrant, thank you so much. I just saw your super chat. Thank you so much. Thanks. Thank you so very much. You're awesome. I appreciate that. Absolutely. That is highly appreciated. Max Fried will be on the mound tomorrow for the Yankees, one of their better pitchers, it looks like. I think everybody knows this guy. He's 12-4. His ERA is under 3. Look at his innings pitched versus his hits. Only 114 hits in 139 innings. And he's got 132 Ks, only 35 walks, 10 home runs. This is pretty good stats. Astros going to have their crap together tomorrow. We don't even know who's going to be on the mound yet for the Astros. But tomorrow's game, I mean, originally I think they said Colton Gordon, but I don't know who they're going to have on the mound tomorrow. I have no idea. I really do have no idea. Let's see here. Let's see here. Let me check the live chat one more time before we get out of here. Yeah, Gun Carnivore, that was unbelievable, the home run. That's right. And Brian ain't no King Tucker. That's true. Yeah, we could have scored more runs than we should have. Maybe we should have played small ball. I mean, Diaz wasn't hitting the whole game. And when Diaz came up to the plate with 1 out and bases loaded, they should have just had him bunt the ball because he wasn't getting hits. Just bunt the ball. Just bunt it. Why not? We would have gone into extra innings if we'd gotten that extra run. Well, Hunt, about that pitch, that home run pitch, the thing is, whenever a pitcher leaves a pitch out over the plate, just a straight pitch right over the plate, it's pretty much guaranteed that that's not what he meant to do. But these guys are human, so they're going to make mistakes. Where they're trying to put the ball and where they actually do put the ball is very difficult to do. So it was just an accident, just one of those things. You can't even really call it a mistake because he wasn't trying to put it there. So it's not fair to call it a mistake. It was just a bad pitch. That's all. He tried, and he didn't get it to where he wanted it to go. Let's see here. I don't like this ump, says Gregory. Yeah, he's made a few boo-boos, but he wasn't as bad as the one we had the other day. That's true. Yeah, any loss against the Stankies is painful, but we still have the opportunity to win tomorrow. We just have to be on our A game. That's all. We can do it. Yeah, let's root for the Rays today. Yeah, so much for traffic, not enough results. This is the 2025 Astros. They'll get them tomorrow. Yep, you never know. And honestly, I think the Astros still have a chance to win tomorrow, even if they have a good pitcher on the mound. The Yankees, it doesn't matter. The Astros can do good. You want to see Bagwell managing the Astros? That's interesting. I'm not sure what kind of a manager he would make. I know he's been working with their staff in other capacities, but I don't know how much of a manager he would make. I don't even know if he's interested in being a manager. But anyway, yeah, the Yankees need to go. They haven't been going anywhere. They need to go back home, that's for sure. Yep. Yeah, I can't believe they lost this game either. Should have won. We should have had 6 or 7 runs on the board at least. Only got 4. Didn't even get the minimal amount of average runs that teams score in the MLB. Should have gotten 5 for this game, especially against the Stanks and this pitcher. This is his second rehab start. Should have been able to get 6 runs on him. Yep, Walker and Diaz were 2 of the biggest disappointments this game, but I will say that Diaz was the biggest disappointment of the game as far as hitting is concerned. Max Coverage TV converted you. Yes. Okay, well that's it. I wanted to get caught up on all of the live chats. I think everything's good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up here and just say thank you guys and gals, everybody, for following along. The updates are done. Tomorrow's game is going to be much earlier for me. I don't know if you can see it on the screen. I'll try to move it down so you can see it right here. This game tomorrow is at 2:35 a.m. So I'm going to have to get my butt in bed really early tonight. I only got about an hour of sleep before this game, so I'm running on fumes right now. It's 5:52 in the morning, and it's still raining pretty hard outside. The sun is coming up, and I'm going to go back to bed. Yep. I'm going to... This game 3, I should be live at about 2:20 a.m. I hope to see you all there. Let's get this game won. I hate getting up this early, or this late, whatever you want to call it, and then losing a game, especially to the Yankees. But yeah, we need to win this. We need to win this series. That's all for now. Thank you so much as usual. I'm going to type that in right now. Thank you all, especially my super chatters and members. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for buying the memberships also. Thank you for doing that, VentureCast. And thank you for the super chats. I think we had Steel Viper super chat, and there was one other super chat. Let me go back up to the top and see where it's listed at so I can name it correctly. Where is it at? Don't tell me it disappeared. Where'd it go? There were 2 super chats today, I believe. Let's see. Where is it at? Can't see it. Oh yes, Gregory. That's right, because it was a member. That's right. Thank you so much, Gregory. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the super chat. All of these things will help me actually pay for this internet connection out here. Just so you all know, I've decided to apply for my own self-sponsored visa in Japan instead of trying to get an actual full-time job, because here's the thing. The truth of the matter is that if I actually do get a full-time job, I can't do the games anymore. And the reason is because I wouldn't be able to do this and work. They would interfere with each other. And so I wouldn't be able to modify my schedule. This is the reason why I didn't take the job. I wanted to share that with you all just to let you know I was offered the position the other day. I went to this school. It's about an hour from here. The main reason that I applied for that school in the first place is because they offered, at least online, it said they offered like a flexible schedule, and they didn't start classes until the afternoon. And I thought that's perfect because I can do all the games and finish by the time those classes start. But they did not offer that flexibility to me. They were very rigid. The manager there was very controlling, a little narcissistic, a little OCD, and he was trying to hide it. I looked up some reviews from previous teachers. It was nothing good. And the contract for the apartment was controlled by the school, and it was very harsh conditions. If you were to break your contract, you had to pay them like 3 months rent. Plus, if any of the appliances in the entire apartment stop working, you're responsible for replacing them. That's right. It doesn't matter if you break it or not. If it just stops working, you're supposed to replace it. I mean, they really went overboard to make sure that if the teacher leaves, they get punished in their contract. They lose money from their contract, and they have to pay 3 months rent from the apartment. And if anything in the apartment stops working, like even the refrigerator. Have you ever heard of such a thing? You move into an apartment and it has a refrigerator, a microwave, a rice cooker, a toaster oven, and all of these things. Even a toilet, all of these things that are part of the apartment. If any of those things stop working, then you're responsible for replacing it. Can you believe that? And this is a rental. So the working contract and the apartment contract were heavily skewed against the teacher and heavily skewed in favor of the company. It's like they're literally trying to screw over whoever comes into work. And after speaking with the manager there, I asked myself, why am I thinking about taking this job? And what else should I do? And the thought occurred to me, you know what? Why not just go ahead and start preparing my paperwork for applying for my own sponsorship? Sponsor my own visa, and I can do part-time teaching and continue to do the Astros channel. I don't know how the Astros are going to come out this year. I hope that, and I believe that they can go all the way. We still have more improvements to do. We have to get better for sure. But we've got some more guys coming back. We're going to get a little bit more help with our hitting and with our pitching. And it was important to me to be here and do these games because I've already spent over a year building this channel. It's more than just a hobby. And it's important to me to make sure that I'm here. I can't imagine just walking away from my channel right now just to get a job that I don't even really want anyway. A low-paying teaching job where I'm working basically 50 hours a week. That would make my health go down and my mood go down. I wouldn't be able to do my channel. I wouldn't be able to spend much time writing on my novel. I wouldn't be happy with the working environment, and I wouldn't be making much money. I'd be in a bad situation, in a very controlled situation. I would be under the thumb of that company and that manager. And I can't allow myself to be in such a position. So I decided to turn it down. And so I have no other work offers right now. But like I said, I do have another plan because some people in Japan do self-sponsorship. And the good thing is that I own this house. It does need a lot of repair. That's true. But for the most part, it's livable. I own it 100%. I own my own car. I have my driver's license. I have my own life. I've built my life here. Those things matter to immigration. And if I show them that I can make a certain amount of money, then I can self-sponsor my visa, and then I'm okay. I can do work again. But anyway, yeah, Casey, it's a common thing, you know. It's a balance. I think we should never choose work or choose a path based on fear. And I'm not going to do that. I just want to choose the right path. So I'm going to stay here with you guys and gals, and I'll work that out. But for now, I think I'm going to get some more sleep. And I wish you all the best. Have a really great day on purpose. And I'll see you around 2:20 Japan time. That's all for now. Until tomorrow.